Welcome to another episode of Neville Goddard. This quote will blow your mind. For those of you who are new here, in this series we look at one quote from the teachings of Neville Goddard that is designed to challenge your current beliefs and expand your understanding of the law of assumption. Firstly, if you would like to learn about the law of assumption in depth and fun, let me know what your favorite Neville quote is in the comments section below. If you have even just one favorite quote from Neville that has really impacted your life or helped you along your journey with the law of assumption, then make sure you put that quote in the comments below. Stop trying to change the world through prayer and take up the assumption of the state you desire. We can only change our ideas and our beliefs. He says that the outer world mirrors our inner world. So when we want to change the world around us, we must first change our beliefs and ideas. This is because our beliefs and ideas create our reality. In other words, instead of asking God to give us what we want, we should assume that we already have what we want and live in that state. When we do this, we begin to see the world around us change as well. This is why he says, if you change your mind, you change your world. You're probably wondering, how can we assume that we already have what we want if we do and feel like we have it yet? How can we assume that we already have it when we can see that we do and have it right now? Resistance is anything that holds us back from believing that we can have what we want. It can be limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, or anything that prevents us from seeing ourselves as already having achieved our desired outcome. When we let go of our resistance, we open ourselves up to the infinite possibilities of the universe and allow our dreams to become reality. To answer this question, let's look at what Neville wrote in his book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Keep practicing the law of assumption and keep moving towards your desired reality. I know that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. We need to identify the beliefs and thoughts that hold us back from achieving our desired state. So my friends, when Neville tells us to stop trying to change the world through prayer, he is inviting us to turn our attention inward and realize that everything we could ever want or need is already within us. I would love to hear your thoughts on this quote in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to check out the free online course on the law of assumption. The link is provided below, and it will be free until September. After that date, the course will be taken down, and there will be no more access to it. So if you want to take advantage of this free offer, do it quickly. Because after September, it will be gone forever. We just need to awaken to it. Instead of begging God for what we want, we must learn to trust that we already have it. We must learn to live in the state of having what we want and allow the world to reflect that state. Once we have become aware of our resistance, we must choose to let it go. We can do this by replacing our negative thoughts with positive affirmations, by practicing gratitude for what we already have, and by visualizing ourselves as already having achieved our desired outcome. Here he says, do not try to change the world by force. Do not try to change another person. Do not expect God to work a miracle in your favor. Realize your own divinity. Trust yourself and the divine power that flows through you. Go within. Find the source of light, power, and love. That is God, and abide there. All else will come to you. So if we want to change anything in the outer world, the only thing we need to change is ourselves. Instead, we are changing ourselves and allowing the world to mirror our new beliefs and ideas. This is not easy to do, however. It takes practice and dedication to change our beliefs and ideas. But when we do, we will see the world around us change as well. This quote is taken directly from an audio recording Neville did called Prayer is the Key, which was originally released as part of his 1971 lecture series called The Law and the Promise. You cannot change the world unless you change yourself. This means that we need to stay focused on our desired outcome and believe that we have already achieved it, even if it doesn't seem like it in the physical world. We must learn to live in the state of having what we want and allow the world to catch up to us. You cannot change the world by force. You change the world by assuming the state you wish to create. Do not try to change the world. Take up the assumption of the state you desire and abide there until it is reflected in your experience. But Neville teaches us that we already have everything we could ever want or need within ourselves. We are simply unaware of it. So he says, stop praying to God for things and start praying to God within yourself. Remember the words of Jesus, ask and thou shalt receive, seek and thou shalt find, knock and the door shall be open unto you. Neville says that the key to receiving our desires is to have faith that we have already received them. We must learn to see that our desires are already within us waiting to be discovered. And you might be asking yourself, what does Neville mean by this? Is he telling us to stop praying? Well, let's delve deeper into these words and try to understand exactly what he means. Everyone watching will see your comment, and maybe they can also share their own favorite quotes. This should be a lot of fun, and it will help others to see how powerful Neville's teachings are. While you're at it, if you haven't already done so, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And when you find him, you will find all your desires fulfilled. So when we stop praying to God outside of ourselves and start praying to the God within ourselves, we begin to see that everything we could ever want or need is already inside us. And this is where Neville's teachings differ from traditional prayer. We are not asking for things from a God outside of ourselves, but we are realizing that we already have everything within us. It's an interactive way. I've created a free online course called Understand and Use the Law of Assumption. The link for this course will be down below. It's completely free, but please note that it is only available until September. After that date, the course will be taken down, and there will be no more access to it. So if you want to take advantage of this free offer, do it quickly, because after September it will be gone forever. Now before we dive into the quote, I have two announcements. Secondly, let me know what your favorite Neville quote is in the comments section below. Today's quote is going to blow your mind, because it's probably something that you've never heard Neville say before. In fact, it contradicts many things that Neville has said elsewhere. Now before I read the quote, I just want to warn you that some people might misquote Neville out of context in order to support their own beliefs. So you need to listen carefully to what he is actually saying so that you fully understand his teachings. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump straight into today's quote. So here is today's quote. Stop trying to change the world. One of the main points Neville makes in all of his work is that we cannot change anything in the outer world, including other people. But what does this have to do with prayer? When we pray, we are asking for something from God, usually to change something in the outer world. In his book, Your Faith is Your Fortune, Neville writes, when you think you are seeking God, God is really seeking you. This is why Neville says, stop trying to change the world through prayer and take up the assumption of the state you desire. Now, I know what you're thinking. So when we assume that we already have what we want, we are not forcing the world to change. Here is another quote from Neville's book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, that can help us understand this concept better. So when we assume the state we desire, we must abide there until our experience reflects that state. Now remember, when we assume the state we desire, we must also let go of our resistance towards achieving that state. To do this, we must first become aware of our resistance. Remember, the world around us is a reflection of our inner world. So when we change our inner world, our outer world will change as well. I hope this helps to clarify Neville's teachings on prayer and the assumption of the state we desire. Before we finish, I just want to remind you that you are amazing. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.